What's up, guys? It's Tony, aka T-Slabs, here for our Week 7 team builder of the BBL. This week we're going up against Coach Matt O'Shea and his Montreal Milotics. Of course, just go check out Matt and all the other BBL coaches down in the description below. We're coming off a loss last week against Emo, really tough for our playoff contentions. We're now sitting at 2-4. Matt almost clinched out here, sitting at 4-2 right now, going into this week. And he has a very, very scary team. And of course, Matt himself is a great player. So we definitely have our work cut out for us this week. We're just gonna hop right into the team builder. This is going up a little bit later. I'm actually recording this the day this should be going up, breaking the fourth wall. I apologize. I just had a lot on my plate, and then recently I got really, really sick. As you can hear, and as you'll hear me say, I think in next week BBL videos, I'm pretty sick right now. So if that's why I sound a little bit off, that's why. But we're just gonna get into it, right? So first off, our opponent has Zekrom, right? Very, very scary for our team to deal with. Very, very difficult for our team to switch into. We have, of course, the Pylo Swine, which isn't terrible. Fable isn't bad, depending on his set. I know that's kind of on a berry high right now. I know it's kind of weird to say if you watch his content, though. If you watch his BBL videos, you'll see what I mean. I think he'll probably be some kind of weakness berry on his Zekrom this week, whether it be a Bond berry, whether it be Shucka berry or Yachi berry, or even what's the other one? Zelly berry. I think he'll bring some kind of berry on his Zekrom this week, and he'll probably just speed time my Reshiram. As for the set, he'd bring probably just like Bolt Strike, Dragon Dance, Roost, and then just like either Dragon Claw or Outrage, I guess. I think just dual stab DD works fine against my team. So that Zekrom pretty scary. Lando I, that is this year, of course, Lando I. Very difficult for my team to switch into. Luckily, we do have Uxie, which isn't a terrible switch in. So we're going to try to play around Lando like that. Just try to make sure it doesn't get up any like Call Mines or Rock Polishes. Just be careful what it can do to our team, especially late game. Slowbro, one of the most solid Reshiram checks in my opinion. So definitely I think Slowbro could be on the field. Of course it also does lose to Urshifu and Gengar. Or potentially does, depending on his set. So maybe that's something where he feels like he doesn't want to bring Slowbro just because of that, and he tries to deal with Reshiram like in other ways. But I think that he could just like bring Slowbro and he'll be fine. I think Matt plays well with his defensive cores, and I think just bringing teleport on the Slowbro and bringing it, knowing when to use it versus when not to teleport out, I think Matt could be fine. Incineroar is very, very scary for my team, especially an offensive Incineroar, but even just like the ability to intimidate my team is kind of annoying. Especially as you'll see the 6 I decided to bring Incineroar, if it chooses to go offensive, is very scary for my team to switch into. But I think that the 6 I brought were the best 6 for the rest of his team as well. So it was really unfortunate that if I changed a component of my team to help better deal with Incineroar, I think I was lacking extremely weak elsewhere on his team. So that's just something that I felt like I had to deal with. So yeah, Incineroar is kind of a problem for this team, but I think we'll be okay. Next is the TERRKION. TERRKION is very difficult for my team to switch into. If he's like a live orb set, everything on my team gets 2 KO by it. So I'm very, very scared of this TERRKION. My best switch in is the Fable, as you'll see, and even then it's very, very difficult for my team to switch into it. So TERRKION is a huge threat for my team. So taking that down is going to be very important. Next is the Frostlass. Frostlass could definitely come. I can see him like spike spamming with it, like Destiny Bond shenanigans. Just a nice support set with this Frostlass. I know Matt really seems to like it, so I could definitely see him bringing that. Next is Jirachi. I'm not the biggest fan of Jirachi in this matchup. If he comes, it'd probably just be like, I think just Scarf set maybe. I'm not too sure. I really don't like Jirachi in this matchup. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if he brings it into like a Reshiram, an Urshifu, a Gengar, a Skarmory, and Uxie. I don't think he wants to bring it. Same with Tapu Bulu. I don't think Tapu Bulu really comes with like Vikavolt, Skarm, Decidueye being there. I don't think he brings Tapu Bulu. One thing I could definitely see coming for my Gengar and Quagsire could be the sub-in for Slowbro, I think. if he thinks that Slowbro is a little too passive, or not passive, but just he doesn't want to bring Slowbro because he doesn't want Urshifu Gengar to be coming in, then I think Quagsire could deal as a soft check to Reshiram in place of Slowbro. And I don't think he brings Porygon or Noctowl against me. So that's what I think of his team. This is the team that we decided to bring. We got a Scarfed Urshifu this week. Wicked Blow, Close Combat, U-Turn Sucker Punch. I think does really well against this team. This could be important for beating that TERRKION down. Maybe outspeeding the Zekrom. If it gets a DD up, outspeed the Lando, because it'll probably be Life Orb just because that sheer 4 boost is just so insane. So yeah, there's all that. Next we got Earthquake here, our Pylos line, physically defensive, Earthquake, Ice Shard, Toxic, and Rocks. I think Rocks are really nice against his team. It helps with breaking down the Lando. It helps with chipping down a Incineroar if he doesn't bring boost on it, or if we can get a knockoff with it. Maybe like breaking the TERRKION, chipping it down a little bit more. The Frost Blast, I think Rocks could be really nice for helping my offensive core kind of break through his team. Earthquake hits his team well. Ice Shard is fine. Toxic is to hit that Slowbro. And then just Rocks. I decided Thick Fat. I was trying to choose between Thick Fat and I believe Oblivious. But I figured that this is probably my best switch into the Incineroar. And he probably wouldn't use this as... You probably wouldn't be switching this into Incineroar anyways. And get the Intimidate off, if that makes sense. Or switching Incineroar in on this to get Intimidate off is what I meant to say. So I don't think Oblivious actually would end up helping. I think Thick Fat, just to make sure that we can't take those Flare Blitzes a little bit better. Colbur Berry, Espadeffa, because he meant to deal with the Lando with Colbur for that knockoff. It's then Headbutt, knockoff, Ice Punch, U-Turn. I think just hits his team very well. Knockoff to get rid of any boots. Then Headbutt just for some stab. Ice Punch for that Lando because then Headbutt, knockoff. Uxie isn't the strongest, so just to make sure that the Lando doesn't run through his late game because our Uxie chip down. Ice Punch just so he has much chip off, and then hopefully just clean up with like Sucker Punch in the back. Should be fine. Next we have our Reshiram, just max speed to speed with the Zekrom. A Life Orb set is what we decided to bring. Blue Flare, Draco, Earth Power Roost, just 3 attacks, hits this team really well. Like I said, the Slowbro and the Quag are like maybe the only thing that can switch in, but even then they aren't appreciating these hits after a while, especially late game. We're also bringing Life Orb, Gengar, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Focus Blast, and Will-O-Wisp. Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Focus Blast, Will-O-Wisp. So Will-O-Wisp, I'm hoping to catch maybe like Zekrom. If he thinks that he can like take a hit from Gengar and then like get up a DD and try to sweep late game, Willow could be really nice for that. And then Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast really just hits the team well. He doesn't have a great Shadow Ball switch in other than this, which is why we have Focus Blast. And then Dazzling Gleam just hits the Zekrom a little bit harder just in case, and it also hits the Skuntank. But I guess we have Focus Blast, but then we don't have to risk the miss. So there's that. And then lastly, we have a physically defensive Clefable, just meant to attempt to beat the TERRKION. Our best switch into it. Calm Mind does really well against this team. If we can get it set up, I would have to see the TERRKION go down just so that I know I can use Clefable to start setting up and sweeping, because Clefable's priority is to beat the TERRKION before setting up. So, yeah, just Moonblast, Flamethrower, Calm Mind, Soft Boil, I think does really well against his team. And that's what we're going to bring against Matt. Of course, the battle will be up tomorrow. Go check out Matt and all the other BBL coaches and the BBL playlist all down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. The T-Slap to them out. Peace.